Mr. Potato Head, Monopoly, Candyland, the Easy Bake Oven, toys and games made by Hasbro, a worldwide leader in entertainment products and services. In 1964, Hasbro introduced G.I. Joe and created the action figure category. Today, Hasbro is a $3 billion company with hundreds of games and toys that have brought smiles to millions of children and families all over the world. Their products are sold in more than 100 countries.
We work with nearly 1,000 new products every year and have to launch them into the market. And then we have to launch 80% of those as brand new the next year. So it's a high pressure but fun in that if you believe you're right and you go after something and you're right, there's big opportunities for big win. And you know very, very quickly if you're wrong.
The company attributes its long-term success to staying ahead of the changing needs and trends of the marketplace. They've done this by modernizing products through the years to make toys and games consistently relevant to consumers.
While games like Monopoly and Clue, Risk and Scrabble and Play-Doh and the Easy Bake Oven have been around for a long time, we have to constantly refresh those products to keep the kids involved and enthusiastic.
In 2001, the company made a strategic shift away from entertainment products tied to movies and turned its focus back to its core portfolio of brands, a move that reduced debt and improved operating performance. But even extraordinary products can fail if the marketing and distribution channels aren't executed with just as much precision as their finely tuned toys. Most of Hasbro's toys and games are sold through mass merchants like Walmart, Target, and Toys R Us, a distribution channel that allows the company to move a lot of product in a short period of time.
Another advantage of the mass channels is you can really focus on improving the supply chain. Because if you're dealing with 1, 2, or 3 major retailers that make up such a significant piece of the business, then you can affect a lot of change in improving your supply chain.
Tightening up the supply chain means better forecasting and planning, a task made more difficult when the company employs alternate channels of distribution. With so many channels of distribution available in the marketplace today, companies like Hasbro have many opportunities to reach their consumers wherever they shop anywhere in the world. That's why today you can find Hasbro products at toy stores, drugstore chains, grocery stores, or even wholesale clubs. Some of these alternate channels require more product differentiation. However, they also represent a distinct advantage, reaching more consumers where they shop.
Oftentimes, these channels don't want to compete with the mass merchants. They want to have a product differentiation. The whole purpose of what we're trying to do is to make sure our product is where our customers are.
Getting the product to all of Hasbro's potential consumers requires more work on their part. That's because a toy or game that might sell at a mass merchant might not do too well at a wholesale club, for example.
Because they want unique product and they really don't want to compete with the mass, that puts a lot of pressure on the R&D folks to come up with unique packages of product. And sometimes it's difficult to take G.I. Joe and make it so unique and different that some of the other channels of grocery or jug chain is willing to carry it. So you have to put extra effort and time and energy into that.
Sometimes that extra energy can result in products that are bundled together to reach a specific consumer.
Let's say that we have an item like Video Now, and when you go to Walmart and Toys R Us, you have the Video Now player, and then you can buy software and you can buy a carrying case or buy headphones. We may go into a Best Buy and put together a pack that includes all of those items in one pack. It's a higher ticket item. They're not competing directly with a Walmart or a Target, but it's the same item but packed out differently.
This strategy allows alternate channels to gain some differentiation and at the same time not compete head-on in price.
It's not just about making a product and selling it everywhere. Clearly, consumers all across the country have options. And those options in any given town or city include a Walmart trip or a Target trip or a Best Buy trip or a trip to the drugstore or a trip to a warehouse club. And what we do is working with those retailers, try to help them to differentiate their offerings so that we provide them with our products and our brands in the way that we want to market and drive them to the consumer, but also reflect their different ways of going to business.
Years ago, it would have been rare to find toys or games in a clothing store, but today you will.
If we're selling little girls' product, little girls spend a lot of time in a store like Limited Too. So we want to be there. Young boys love to go to Best Buy. We need to be there. So we try to make our product as not only affordable, but designed in a way that can sell to a variety of channels.
The simple trend of kids getting older younger means that Hasbro has to look at new channels as a way of reaching the 8 to 12-year-old marketplace, an age group referred to as the tween market.
They want to go after where the product is cool and where they see their friends shop. Really, Limited Too or Best Buy or Circuit City are those new channels for the toy business for us to develop product and merchandising as well as other integrated elements in our marketing plan to go after those tweens where they really want to shop and where they're spending their money.
20 years ago, the market was much different. Hasbro sold to thousands of customers that represented less than 1% of sales. Not the case today. Hasbro's top 5 retailers, the biggest of which are Toys R Us, Walmart, and Target, account for over 50% of the company's net revenues. As a result, getting the support of key retailers is more important now than ever, especially when it comes to a new toy launch. Also important is a manufacturer's ability to streamline logistics, getting product out the door but avoiding empty shelves.
Some of the mass merchants will tell you that if you don't perform at a superior level in the field of logistics, they're not going to carry the product, even if it's a hot product, because they're so focused on making sure that they manage that supply chain.
Managing the supply chain has been made easier through the use of sophisticated technology that allows for real-time sales accounting.
Still a lot of unknowns, but that's a lot better than years ago when we didn't know how much product was moving off the shelf in a given day. We get daily information from our key customers, so that's very helpful.
Also very helpful is how products are displayed in-store. Hasbro works with its retailers to push product by making sure the toy or game is merchandised in a way that attracts the consumer. Their pull strategies incorporate advertising partnerships with retailers.
We actually are integrating our products within their branded commercials, as well as our own commercials, as well as the internet, as well as other forms of media. All of those elements working together on a one cohesive message really drive consumers to pull our products out of retail.
As for marketing products to international markets, Hasbro is working actively to transition itself from multinational marketing to true global marketing. They're accomplishing that through doing more at the product inception stage so that products can be developed faster without many revisions and adaptations down the line. Hasbro has also created a group inside the U.S. toy business that works with international teams to look at new products under development and examines what changes need to be made to specific product lines to make their goods saleable in each of the territories around the world.
This has really helped us to shorten our time to market, to reduce our costs, but yet to hit more global countries with a given product, given that those folks were involved in the development, the ideation from the very beginning, and we were able to address their needs early on.
Today, through advances in technology and better communication with retailers, business planning is done much more effectively. Hasbro carries far less inventory than they did years ago, and their sales are much higher. Good for Hasbro, its retailers, and even the customer who seeks the newest product or looks for the tried and true game.
At the end of the day, they can rest assured that if it's Hasbro, it's going to be a great game or a great toy, and we stand behind it every inch of the way.